Selma Teacher 7, Mr. Barry here. Today is lesson number 3 for the Computer Literacy course. In this class, we're going to be going over Google Docs and then going over and using it to create a letter. We'll also be learning about the features found in it, such as using your voice instead of having to type it in manually to create documents. Well, let's get started with the lesson. So here we are in Google Docs. Now, just to let you know, all of my lessons and all of my work is all created using Google Docs. And the nice thing about Google Docs is that you can create this online. You can download a copy and save it if you want to on a jump drive. You can convert it to a Microsoft Word document if you want to. You can print it. You can do all kinds of things with your document. You can even go in and add things such as word art, tables, and other things to your Google Docs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the menus so that you can just focus on the lesson. And let us not forget that Google Docs works offline too. So the first thing that we want to do is start your Chrome browser or your Chromebook and log into your Google account. Now, just a reminder, you don't need to log in and log out of your Google account if you're bringing in your personal laptop or if you're doing this at home. I would like to remind everyone that you can watch the video lesson on one side of your screen and do the work on the other side of the screen. And to do that, you could simply press the Windows key and the left arrow key on your keyboard if you're using a Windows machine. There you go, and you'll see something like that. Then you can drag the lesson, the tab, I'm dragging the tab that has the lesson on it, out to the other side, and I let go. There we go. And now I can have my video lesson playing on one side, and I could be doing the work on the other side, such as going in my Google Drive. Anytime that you open up a new tab, by the way, you should see your Google page, and there's your apps right there where it says Google Apps. You click it, and normally we always go into the Google Drive. From there, you'd be able to open up your project folder and do all the work that I am talking about there on the video. Now, let's say that you're working on a Chromebook or a Chromebox. What you could do is click on this very center icon here, and then notice that you can then drag the corner of your browser to about the center of your screen. Once you've done that, you can then drag the tab that's holding the video over to the other side of the screen. You can then do some more dragging there to get to where you want. You can then go over to the first side, click on New Tab, and from within the New Tab, you should be in the Google page. Again, click on the Google Apps and find your Google Drive. All of our work, by the way, is done within the Google Drive, and it's all done within your particular project folder. So then you'd find your project folder that you're using for this here, and double click it, and then create all of your new work within your project folder. So that's how you do it on a Chromebook. Let's go ahead now and continue with the lesson. Number 2, once you're in your Google browser, click on the apps icon, and if you're using a Windows machine, that would be found in the bookmarks bar. Number 3, the app screen will load showing the apps that are installed on your account. Number 4, click on the Drive icon that is shown here. Number 5, double click within the project folder to open it. Now, we made the project folder last week, so let's say that you missed lesson number 2. You'll need to create a folder and share it with me if you haven't done that. And that folder would be called something like Project Folder 2017 or Fall 2017, and then you share that. After you create it, you double click it to open and go within that folder. Number 6, once you are within your project folder, click on the New button. 7, click on the blue icon called Google Docs, as is shown here. Number 8, if you are asked to create this document within a shared folder, click on the blue OK button because you are sharing this document with me. Now, if you don't see that screen where it asks you the question, do you want to share this document, then you may not be sharing the folder. Google Docs is very useful in creating documents such as cards, calendars, handbills, CD holders, books, etc. When Google Docs first appeared, it was just a word processor with only a few features. Now it is a complete document creation and editing suite with as many features and tools as Microsoft Word. A few unique features found within Google Docs are that it is a free web-based application, yet works offline, minus the web-based clip art gallery. Documents and spreadsheets can be created, edited, and stored online within the user's Google Drive or downloaded for offline use. Files can be accessed from any computer with an internet connection as long as the user is logged into their Google account. Any work created within Google Docs is protected and kept private unless the owner of those files is sharing them with another user. Google Docs is compatible with other word processors out there such as Microsoft Word and a host of others. Any document created can be downloaded as a Microsoft Word document as well. So let's continue with the lesson. The sauces are here to point out special notes. So whenever you see one, pay attention to what he is pointing out to you because I'll be sure to ask you about it at the end of the chapter. We're now going to go into Google Docs Basics. At the very top left-hand corner, you see the document's title. It always starts as Untitled Document until you click it and key in a new name. Below that, we have the menu bar. On the right-hand side, you see the owner's name. Below that would be the blue button. You click that one to share your work with others. Back to the left-hand side, we see the menu bar, starting with the word File, going on all the way to the word Help. Below the menu bar, we have the formatting tools, and then the ruler, and then the workspace. I'm now going to go and talk about the menu bar. The menu bar runs across the top of the window and contains many tools which we will become acquainted with during this lesson. The first one is the File menu. Within the File menu, you have options such as Share, Create a new document, Open existing work, Rename your work, Make a copy, Move to another folder, or move it to the trash. You can even see the revision history. Yes, you can click that and then see exactly how your document was created, step by step, minute by minute. Also, if you went in and took work from another document or from another user, that is shown as well. So let's say you're typing along and your friend has some work. He says, oh, here, let me give you this. And you copy over a paragraph or a page, whatever, and you put it into your existing work. It shows exactly where that section came from and what time it was moved. Language, you can actually choose which language you want. You can download the document as a Microsoft Word document or many other formats. You can publish it to the web. You can even email collaborators or email it as an attachment. Then we have page setup, which allows you to change the margins and also the page orientation, or you can print it. Going on to the edit menu, here we can undo. So if you make a mistake, you click there to undo your mistake. But it keeps a list of all your actions. So you can continually click on undo to undo all of your steps. You can redo in case you undo a mistake. You can cut, copy, paste. You even have the web clipboard. You can select all of your work, including text and photos within any type of a document. And then you also have the find and replace tool, which is really handy. If you, let's say you have the word John at certain locations in your letter, and you want to place those words John with the word David, all you have to do is click on Find and Replace, put in John on the find and David on the replace. and then it would replace every time that the word John comes up with the word David. Now going on to the View menu. In the View menu, you have the Print Layout. Now that's a type of view so that you see exactly the way it's going to be printed out when you decide to print it. And then you have different modes available to you. So you could choose editing mode or read-only mode. Then you have a ruler. You can show the ruler or hide the ruler. You have the Show Equation toolbar. So if you're working with a lot of equations, you can show it or hide it. And then you also have Show Spelling Suggestions. So if, say, you're typing along and there's a word that doesn't appear in the dictionary, it comes up, they replace it with a red underline. And then you can right-click that word and choose the correct spelling for the word or add it to your dictionary. Then you have compact controls. Basically, it'll take all of your controls on top and make them smaller, make them compact for you. And then you have the full screen option. Now, when you click on the full screen option, you won't see any other toolbars or any other windows appearing. You'll be full screened. To get out of that mode, just press the Escape key. Remember, you can always hide these menus by using the shortcut Control, Shift, and F. Let's now continue with the Google Docs menus. On the next page, we have the Insert menu. On the Insert menu, you can insert an image, a link, an equation, a drawing, or even a chart. Now you can also insert a table. You have comments, footnotes, special characters, horizontal line, page numbers, even a page count. You can also insert a page break, a column break, a header, footer, bookmark, or even a table of contents. The Format menu is next. Here we can bold our text or make it italic. We can underline the text or even put a stripe through. We can do a superscript or subscript. And then we have different paragraph styles. We can align our text in different, either to the left, centered, or right. We can change our line spacing and even insert lists. We can even clear the formatting or do work with lines. We can crop images, replace the image, or even reset an image. The next menu is the Tools menu. Here we have Spelling, Review Suggested Edits, Explore, Define, Document Outline, Word Count, and my favorite, Voice Typing. Yes, it is possible now to turn on voice typing and simply speak to your computer, and then it will do the rest, as in type all that you say. We have Keep Notepad, the Translate document, where you can translate it from one language to another language. We have the Script Editor, Preferences, and even a personal dictionary. Let me demonstrate how Google Voice works. To turn it on, you go to Tools and then click on Voice Typing. Once you've done that, you'll see this little microphone, and then it says click to speak. So click it and then say allow. Now anything that I say will be typed up for me. This is great for those who maybe not be typing so fast, but yet can speak their minds very easily. And there it typed everything that I say. All right, so let's get back to the lesson. Another menu that's very helpful is the Table menu. Now with this, you can very easily insert any size, shape of a table that you desire. You can then go in and insert more rows or delete rows or columns, and you can also change the table properties. So that, let's say that you want to have a table on your document, have it divided into 2 cells or 2 columns, and then cause the border to become erased or invisible, so you actually have 2 columns of work. That's easy to do. You just go to Table, Insert Table, and then go over the first 2 squares, click the second square, and it will insert a table with 2 columns for you. Then go to Table Properties, and if you click on the color of the border, choose white, and of course the table will then vanish. Then we have add-ons. Now add-ons are a particular type of apps. They go in and they help you do a specific task. To find them, simply click on add-ons and then click on get add-ons. Once you click on get add-ons, you can go through the category or even do a word search and find the particular add-on app that will help you in creating your type of document. Examples would be a calendar or even a work list. Then we have help. Now help, of course, is where you click on and you type in your question and it brings up the appropriate help. Going to the next page, we now have the formatting toolbar. On those, we have different icons. So we're going to start with the ones on the extreme left-hand side. First one pictured here is the print icon. This allows you to print out your document to a printer. Then you have the undo. The undo will undo your steps starting from the most recent action. And then you have the redo. This will redo your last action. Then you have paint format. This copies and pastes the formatting that has been applied to the selected text and applies it to other text. Zoom. This zooms in or out of your document. Then we have normal text. This is part of styles. This allows you to change the style of the text within the document. Then we have fonts. The one shown here is Calibri. Now this allows you to change the appearance of the selected text. Then we have font size. The standard size is 11, but it can be increased or decreased. This allows you to change the size of the selected text. B is for bold. This allows you to bold the selected text. Then we have the letter I there, that's for italic. This allows you to italicize the selected text. And then the U with the line is the underline. Allows you to add an underline to the selected text. Then you have an A with a bar underneath it. This allows you to change the color of the selected text. It also allows you to change the background or highlighted text. Remember, you can use the undo button or use the shortcut Control-Z to fix any of your mistakes. Now moving on to page number 5, we have the formatting toolbar continued. Here we see a link or part of a chain. This is to insert a link. This allows a hyperlink to be inserted into the document. And then you have the insert comment icon, allows a user to insert comments into a document. Then we have the text alignment, changes the alignment of the text to be either left justified, centered, right justified, or evenly justified. We then have line spacing, allows the line spacing to be changed. Then we have numbered list, allows a numbered list to be inserted into the document. Then we have bulleted list, allows a bulleted list to be inserted into the document. And then we can decrease or increase the indent. Of course, this allows you to change your indents there. Clear formatting, clears the formatting that has been associated with the selected text. Background color allows the background color to be changed. And then you have border color, allows the border color to be changed. And then the border width allows the border width to be changed. And then the border dash allows the border to be changed to a dash. Then we have mode selection, allows a document to be viewed in either editing mode or just viewing mode without editing allowed. We also have hide the menus, allows the user to hide the menus. Note that Google Docs can read, write, and save Microsoft Office documents. It can also convert any document to PDF or any other standard. Going on to page number 6 and looking at spelling underlines for Google Docs and what they mean. Google Docs is programmed to check every word that you key in with a built-in dictionary. If a word that you key in is not found in its dictionary, then it will become underlined with a red line like the one shown here. To correct the spelling errors, simply right-click on the word or group of words which have the red underline, and a menu will appear with suggestions that you can then click on to replace the original words. Here's a good example where I've right-clicked here and this is the context menu that appears. I would then simply click on accidentally to correct the spelling. Please note it may take 10 or more seconds before misspelled words are underlined in red. So just keep typing and go back and fix any errors after you have completed the sentence. adding new words to the Google Dictionary. Sometimes the dictionary does not have a word that you know is correct. This may be a name or a new device. To add that new word to the dictionary, right-click that word and then select Add to Personal Dictionary from the pull-down menu. Looking up words. Any known words may be defined simply by right-clicking that word and then selecting the word Define. A side window will open showing the dictionary definition, synonyms, and antonyms. Let's now turn to page 7 with Practice with Google Docs. Number 1, you should already be in a new blank document that we opened up at the beginning of this lesson. Number 2, click on the document's title. It's found at the top left-hand corner, and that's where it says Untitled Document. Give it the name Project 1 as seen here. You may do this simply by clicking in the box where it says Untitled Document and typing in the new title. You do not have to save your work any longer because it is saved automatically for you as you type. Number 3, type or voice type the letters shown here, including the misspelled word Chicago. Use the Tab key to move the insertion point to the place where you wish to begin the text. The first line of the text begins with the date. You will need to hit the Tab key 8 times or so to move the insertion point to that specific location. You may use the shortcut Ctrl-Z to undo any of your mistakes. Now remember, if you want to start the voice tool, just simply click on Tools, go down, and then click on Voice. Once you click on the voice, a microphone will appear. Click it, and then click on Allow to turn on the microphone, and then key in the text or voice the text as you see here. At the top, you'll have today's date. That goes at the very top. Below that, it says, Dear Mr. Berry, we had a great class last week with an exclamation mark. I learned how to log into my Google account from anywhere, and I was able to see my Gmail, YouTube, Drive, and even my other email, period. I even called my Aunt Jo in Chicago with Google Hangouts, period. I watched all of your recent YouTube videos and made sure I clicked the thumbs up button, period. I even used Google Docs voice typing to make this letter, period. Thank you for helping us and keep up the good work, period. Then you need to go down 2 or 3 spaces, and you do that by hitting the Enter key that many times, and then use the Tab key about 8 times to move your insertion point all the way over there to the right hand side, and then key in the words take care, then hit the Enter key again, and then hit the Tab key 8 times again, and then key in your name. Now we can pause the video here for the class so they can type in the letter here, and then we'll continue. Okay, here we are, step number 4. After keying in or voicing your letter in as shown, I would like you to go in and right-click on the word Chicago. A menu should appear out of the word and select the correct word, Chicago, from the menu. Page number 8. Step number 5. Once you have corrected the misspelled word, use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl-A to highlight all the text. Now that shortcut is done by pressing and holding the Control key and then tapping the A key once. Once you do that, all of your text will become highlighted as you see here on my screen. Once you have all the text selected, you'll be ready for step number 6. Step number 6. Click on the Font Selection tool. Now this is, if you look at the top menu here, it's where you see the word Arial, and a menu will appear showing more fonts. Number 7, go down that list of fonts, and at the very bottom of that font list is the word More, and that will be followed by fonts. So click on More Fonts. Now let's go on to page number 9. Step number 8. Once you have selected More Fonts from the pull-down menu, a new window should open, looking like this. Click within the text box found within the Fonts window, and that's the one that I've circled here for you. Now once you click in that box, key in the word Lobster, L-O-B-S-T-E-R, without the quotation marks, into the box, and then hit the enter key once. Let's go on to page number 10. Step number 11. After keying in the word Lobster, the window will change as seen here. Click the Lobster font from the list. I'm circling it now. After you click on that Lobster word there, it should change to a light blue color with a check mark on it. Step number 12. Click on the blue OK button once. 13. After adding the Lobster font to your Google Fonts, click again to the font selection tool, which might be Arial, and a menu will appear showing more fonts. Let's turn now to page 11. 14. Select the Lobster font from the pull-down menu. If you do not see the Lobster font, redo steps 6 through 13 to find the Lobster font. Step number 15. After making these changes to your letter, it should now look like this with the fancy Lobster font. Step number 16. If you wish to print this document, then you can use the shortcut Control-P to open the printer dialog window. Now remember, the shortcuts are done by pressing the Control and holding the Control key and then simply tapping the P key. And once you do that, you'll see the printer dialog window open as seen here. It'll give you a preview of your document, and over on the left hand side it will give you options to either print or cancel. Below that is the destination. Now if you have not added any printers to your Google account, then you won't see a printer there. To add a printer to your Google account, I have different mini lessons actually dealing with that issue. Just simply go to my channel and find those that I did last semester. Let's now go on to page number 12, step number 17. Look at the destination area and make sure that the correct printer is selected, because you can print to any printer that is connected to the internet and that you have registered to your Google account. 18. Click on the print icon to send that document to the printer. Now this project is already shared with Mr. Barry because you created it within a shared folder. If you wanted to share just one document with a friend or a co-worker, then you would click on the Share button, which is found near the top of the document. 20. The Share dialog box would then open as seen here. 21. You would then key in your co-worker or friend's email address into the space provided as seen here, and then click on the blue Send button. And here's a word about sharing files and folders. In the past, we would add a document to an email as a file attachment if we wanted to share it with others. Now, documents, pictures, music, or even whole folders can be shared with other people. When you share a document or folder, only that item can be seen by the other person. Your other files, which you are not sharing, cannot be seen. This is the beauty of sharing. Documents and other files can be shared, and the owner of those files can change the way the other people view those files. Remember, you can share folders, documents, photos, or even printers in this way. Let's now turn to page 13. The owner can also change the other person's rights or privileges to that document, file, folder, or device. For example, the owner can share a document with 3 different rights: full editing privileges, can only leave comments, or can only view and print privileges. In this way, the owner always has full control of how their work will be handled by the other people. Let's now go on to questions for lesson number 3. Please take out a clean sheet of paper and write your name along the top line. Now, after writing down the answers to these questions, turn in the paper to Mr. Berry. So let's go over these questions here. Question number 1. The undo option is in the A. Is it in the View menu? B. The Edit menu? C. The Tools menu? Or D. None of the above? Number 2. The page setup option is in the A. File menu, B. Edit menu, C. Tools menu, or D. None of the above. Number 3. A red underline under a word in Google Docs means that the word is A. Correct, B. Not found in Google's dictionary, C. Is missing. So which one is it? Number 4. You need to manually save your Google documents to see them later. Is this A. True, B. False, or C. None of the above? Number 5. You can print to any printer that you have registered to your Google account and that is connected to the internet. Is this A. True, B. False, or C. None of the above? Question number 6. A user may use keyboard shortcuts instead of mouse clicks to do their tasks. Is this A. True, B. False, or C. None of the above? Number 7. The shortcut Control-Shift-F does what? Question number 8. The shortcut Control-Z does what? Number 9. The shortcut Control-A does what? Number 10. Which OS does a Chromebook run? Number 11. Google gives more storage space if you own a Chromebook. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Number 12. Google Documents and spreadsheets do not count against your storage space within the Google Drive. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Number 13. Google Docs can open and save Microsoft Office documents. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Question number 14. What is the name of the button that is pictured here? A, is this the back button? B, is this the left button? C, is this the redo button? Or D, is it the undo button? Question number 15. What will the Control-Enter shortcut do within the Internet browser? Question number 16. What is the shortcut to hide the Google Docs menus? Question number 17. About how many seconds may it take for Google Docs to underline a misspelled word? Number 18. Google Docs can add words to your Google account personal dictionary, i.e. names or foreign words, etc. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Question number 19. You may share folders, documents, photos, and printers with others. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Number 20. When sharing a document with others, you may share it with different rights or privileges. Is this A, true, B, false, or C, none of the above? Make sure that you are sharing your class project folder with Mr. Berry. You will see a small person on the icon of the folder if you are sharing that folder, as seen here. For those watching on YouTube, please click on the thumbs up button and share, and plus leave a comment. I really appreciate those. Thank you again, and bye-bye.